Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful ideas in all of economics, supply. But forget the dusty textbooks. We're going to get this by stepping right into the shoes of someone who lives and breathes the stuff every single day. Have you ever wondered, why is it you can always find a cup of coffee, but that hot new gaming console is impossible to get for months? Or why avocados are a steal one week, and then suddenly they cost a fortune? The answer, the secret to all of this, is supply. And to really make this click, we're going to follow a story. Let's meet Alex. Alex is an artisan baker, and their one simple daily decision, how many loaves should I bake today? Well, that question is going to unlock this entire concept for us. All right, here's our game plan. We'll start with what supply actually is. Then we'll get into the golden rule that drives every producer's decisions. We'll actually map this out to see what happens when things change, and then we'll build a toolkit you can start using right away. So our story kicks off before the sun is even up. Alex is in the bakery, faced with the one question that can make or break the business. How much bread do I bake? And believe me, this isn't just a guess. It's a critical calculation. And that calculation, well, it brings us right to the official definition of supply. It's the amount of something that a business, like Alex's bakery, is both able and willing to sell at different prices. And those two words, able and willing, they are everything. It's not just what Alex can produce, but what actually makes financial sense to produce. So what's the biggest signal? What's the main thing that helps Alex decide? For any producer, whether you're a baker or a huge tech company, one thing shouts louder than anything else: the price. And this leads us to the golden rule of supply. So the key here is that it's a positive relationship. Let me put that way more simply. If people are willing to pay a high price for artisan bread, you better believe Alex is going to be firing up those ovens and baking a lot more. Higher price, more supply. Lower price, less supply. It's really that straightforward. Now, this is where it gets really cool because we don't have to just imagine this rule. We can actually draw a picture of it. Think of it like a map that shows us exactly what Alex will do. This map is called the supply curve. And there it is. See that simple line sloping up? That's it. That is Alex's entire decision-making playbook, right there on the screen. Just look, as the price goes up, say from P1 to P2, the quantity Alex is happy to bake moves right along with it, from Q1 to Q2. It's the golden rule in picture form. Okay, but here's where the story gets really interesting. The world isn't static, right? Things are always changing for Alex. But we need to be really specific here. Is it just the price of bread that's changing, or did something more fundamental change about the ability to bake it? And this is the absolute key distinction you've got to understand. It's the difference between a movement and a shift. A movement just means Alex is walking along the map they already have, just responding to a different price. But a shift? Oh, a shift means the world has changed so much, Alex has to crumple up that old map and draw a completely new one. So let's look at a movement first. Think of a giant like Apple. If the price for iPhones goes up, they'll make more. They're just moving to a different point on their existing supply map. For Alex, it's like a local restaurant offering to pay a bit more per loaf. Sure, they'll bake a few extra. It's an easy decision, just a simple move along the map. But a shift is a whole different beast. Remember the earthquake in Japan that disrupted car parts for Toyota? That wasn't about the price of cars. It fundamentally changed their ability to build them. For Alex, this is like a sudden flood that takes out their main flour supplier. Now, it doesn't matter what the price is. They physically cannot bake as much bread. Their entire map is wrong. They have to redraw it, shifting the whole thing inward. So, what are these powerful, game-changing forces that can make a producer like Alex have to redraw their entire business plan? What are these supply shifters that are often totally outside of their control? Well, there are quite a few. Think about something like the weather. A huge drought could destroy the wheat crop, which means the price of flour for Alex goes through the roof. Or what about innovation? A brand new oven that bakes twice as fast would be a game changer. Even the government plays a role. A new tax hurts supply, while a subsidy could help it. Each of these forces a new map. Let's zoom in on one that's a little tricky: opportunity cost. All it means is the value of the next best thing you're not doing. So let's say pastries are suddenly super popular and profitable. Every loaf of bread Alex bakes now comes at the cost of not baking a croissant that could have made more money. If that cost gets too high, Alex might shift production and their supply map away from bread. Okay, so we followed Alex's story. But the real point here is to give you something you can use. How can you take these ideas and apply them, either at work or just to understand what's going on in the world? Let's build a toolkit.
Here you go, a simple 4-step guide. Anytime you hear about something happening in a market, just run through this. 1. What's the product? 2. Is this news about its price changing? If yes, you know it's just a movement. 3. Is it about some outside force, like a storm or a new law? If yes, that's a shift. And 4. Does this new thing help or hurt the producer? That'll tell you if the whole map shifts out or in.
And to really lock all this in, here's the final cheat sheet. The law of supply, that's the golden rule. Higher price, higher quantity. A movement, that's just walking along the map you already have. And a shift, that's when something forces you to throw out the old map and draw a brand new one. So there you have it. You now have the toolkit to see the world a little differently, to analyze the supply side of literally any market you can think of. The only question left is, what are you going to analyze first?